Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/WCSN312. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself.
Chicago, thank you, and welcome to WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. I'd like to take this moment to talk about our social media outlets and the platforms you can listen and find us on. You can follow us on Twitter at WCSN312. Like us on our Facebook at Windy City Sports Network or at WCSN312. We also recently just joined Instagram, and you can follow us there at WCSN312 as well. We post all our shows to listen to on our social media outlets. If you're driving to work, you're driving back home from work, working out, or just chilling at home, pop on your headphones. You can listen to us on many platforms. Number one is iTunes. Our goal is to become a top 100 podcast. We need your help. By going on iTunes, rate us by giving us 5 stars and subscribe. We're on Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, our original platform SoundCloud, Overcast, Castbox, Podbean, the podcast app, and most recently, Google Play. Search for Windy City Sports Network and you'll find us there. All platforms are free to you and available on iOS or Android phones, tablets, Apple TV, or any mobile devices or computers. We are beginning to do quick live pre-shows on our social media outlets, so make sure you follow or like us there. We will be live on Periscope, which is via our Twitter, and Facebook Live before every live broadcast. Lastly, you can watch us live, interact with us via the chat rooms on our newly launched YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search Windy City Sports Network, and subscribe to our channel. You can watch us live or watch any of our older podcasts there. We created our YouTube channel for you, our fans, to interact with us during our shows. Ask us any questions, and we will spew our opinions. We will be broadcasting CSCR, Chicago Sports Crunch Radio, every Friday at 7 p.m. live. And bi-weekly, every Wednesday at 7 p.m., WrestleTalk Radio will be live. Only on our YouTube channel, so subscribe now. If you have any questions, you can use our social media outlets or email us at windycitysportsnetwork@gmail.com. Like I have said many times before on this show, this is a passion project. We don't make any money off of this, and we have expenses, equipment, distribution costs, etc. If you guys enjoy our show and would like to buy us a beer, you can, and it would be greatly appreciated. Go to our Patreon page, become our patron, and you can donate as much as you want. We will have rewards updated monthly in return. Just go to our Patreon page at Windy City Sports Network. Again, remember, we are WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network, built by the fans, for the fans. We would like to thank all our affiliates and sponsors for supporting WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. Here's a quick message from one of our affiliates. Thinking of starting your own podcast? Don't know what software or distributor to use? It's real easy and simple with Podbean. Go to podbean.com/WCSN312. Podbean is the world's leading podcast publishing platform. Over 100,000 people worldwide choose Podbean to create their podcasts. Your all-in-one podcasting solution. With Podbean, you create professional podcasts in minutes without any programming knowledge. Best of all, everything is mobile ready right from the start. You get unlimited podcasting, comprehensive stats, custom branding, reliable media hosting. You can share almost everywhere and get huge audience engagement. The community in Podbean is over 172,000 podcasters, over 5.8 million episodes, and has 5.4 billion downloads. Plans go as low as $9 a month for unlimited audio and $29 a month for unlimited video and audio. If you go through our link, you get your first month free. Give them a try. Go to www.podbean.com/WCSN312.
Welcome, everybody, to WTR WrestleTalk Radio. This is the show that brings to you the highlights from all things wrestling and sports entertainment. From WWE to TNA, NXT, ROH, and so much more, WTR is here to focus on what makes wrestling so damn entertaining and fun to watch. We are live from Studio 1 of the WCSN, the Windy City Sports Network. This is WTR WrestleTalk Radio.
And we are back after a week off. Wild Bill
back in the game.
And the Nicole, and we are back with WTR. This is episode 25. Sorry. I'm thinking Michael Jordan for some reason. I actually bought a new shirt. You might like this. It is a Michael Jordan shirt. It's obviously a fabricated one. Michael Jordan, and he's dunking over LeBron James.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty sick. So I should have wore that. I actually was going to wear that.
Leave that for Friday show.
Yeah. I actually got a new George Brett jersey.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty sick. The batting practice one. Pretty good stuff. Anyways, welcome, guys, for the guys who are in the chat room right now. We will be going on Facebook Live real soon, second half city. So right when the second half starts, or I think right when we start dabbling into like the WrestleMania card, that's I think when we're going to jump in and we'll go live on Facebook. So for people who are watching this recorded in their or the podcast version and they want to start watching us live, you can get the whole version on our YouTube channel if you subscribe to us. If not, then Facebook has usually the second half of it and stuff. So we were out last week. We had NCAA games to cover. We were in Detroit. I know it's not Friday and we're not talking sports, but man, this tournament is like upset city.
Yeah, this is unreal.
I don't think anyone has a perfect bracket. There's no way.
It's impossible.
Man, with all that stuff going on, but it's pretty crazy. It's cool to see. Go Loyola, local Chicago team. I was glad to see that they won. They even have a chance to win again, I think.
Nevada, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. That's tomorrow or Friday?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, because I think they play. Yeah, because after
the old lady's bringing them magical luck, right?
I don't know, man. That's some pretty cool stuff, though, man. Loyola's on fire right now, and it's good to see. I have never seen in our lifetime, probably, we've never seen Loyola go even into the NCAA tournament, let alone this far.
I have to suffer with going to DePaul and having to deal with that all the time.
I'm trying to think in our lifetime, what's the farthest? I think Illinois when they went to the finals. Remember that one year?
Right.
But they lost.
Right.
I forgot who was on that team. Was it Derek Thomas or something? Or, man, I forgot their names. Quan Garrison.
Was Nick Anderson on that team?
No, there was another year, too, I thought, after, like, I think Quan Garrison was on that team. If Hop Hop's on here, he'll know.
He's looking it up on his iPhone.
He's looking it up right now on Google or what have you. Anyways, guys, we're talking wrestling. So we have a ton to talk about. We did not come back last week and we're going to start skipping like a week or two, not two, a week, and we're thinking to do this bi-weekly. So we did not cover the FastLane when the post show for FastLane, and I actually liked it.
It was good.
I mean, it was better than what was the pay-per-view before.
The Elimination Chamber.
It was better than Chamber, I thought.
I think that's been one of the better pay-per-views in the last 3-4 months.
Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked to see the matches and like everything that went down. I was pretty impressed with the whole thing. But overall, I mean, some of the key pointers that or some of the key things that happened is obviously Orton beat Rude for Grand Slam champion.
Right.
I actually had. Did you pull up that email?
No.
Man, I can't.
Oh, the list of all the people.
Yeah,
I have it.
I just started doing that because that's actually pretty interesting. So the first list was
the old school way.
The old school way,
right?
And then the second one. So who were the guys on the first list?
Michaels, Triple H, Kane, Jericho, Kurt Angle, Guerrero, RVD, Booker T, Hardy, JBL, Christian, and The Big Show.
So I'm the one. What's the name you're surprised about on that list?
Christian.
I was surprised. Wait, that's the new one or the old one?
That's the old one.
Him and RVD.
Mm-hmm. Well, RVD, I remember that he had all those belts when he came over, but Christian was the one that shocked me.
Yeah, but I mean, and then on a new list, I think everyone's legit on there.
Angle, Guerrero, Edge, Big Show, Miz, Bryan, Ambrose, Reigns, Orton.
Ambrose surprises me a little.
No, because remember he came through tag.
Yeah,
Intercontinental all the way up, and then he got the belt.
And then the biggest, I think, shocker. Did they have ECW or they had TNA?
No, they had TNA, AJ Styles, Abyss, Samoa Joe, and Eric Young.
That's legit.
Which is legit.
Eric Young a little bit. Why? But and then
Ring of Honor was Christopher Daniels.
That's it.
Yep.
And I thought there would be more. I thought Jay Lethal was a Grand Slam champ.
No, he's never had the Ring of Honor World Belt. Wow. I'm almost positive he hasn't had it.
So, Nick, what's up, Tony? Or you meant to say yo?
Yo.
I think that it's pretty cool that I think Orton deserves being a Grand Slam champion.
No doubt about it.
So I think it's cool, and I think we all saw it coming that was going to happen. And then let alone, obviously, with what happened on SmackDown yesterday, now they're doing that three-way.
Which is what we had predicted was probably going to happen
3 weeks
ago.
What's your take, though, on three-ways? There's way too many of them going on.
Too many people.
They're like, that's the answer for everything. It's
right.
like, oh, we'll do three-way.
If you're not sure what to do, you do a three-way.
Yeah, and I think they do that also to involve like all the wrestlers in WrestleMania. So we'll talk in the second half about the WrestleMania card, but I'm writing down what's like set in stone that's going to happen and what matches will happen. And I'm like, dude, that's a 6-hour show. I'm like, how are they going to fit it all in?
Well, they're going to somebody's going to be bumped. 2 people are going to be bumped to that pre-show, right? 2 matches, I figure, go to the pre-show.
I think they're going to have to do like
an hour pre-show,
2-hour pre-show.
No way.
What? So when is WrestleMania starting? 6 our time or 7?
6 our time, 6 to 10. So that's 4
hours. Going to
hours.
start at 5.
5 to 6, right?
You're going to have to fit 2 to 3 matches in the pre-show.
They'll get him in. Oh, they can easily get him in.
You might even have to throw one of the battle royals in the pre-show.
Well, you're probably going to have the cruiserweight, right?
Yeah.
Match will be a pre-show.
Which I'm unhappy with the finalists.
But I called it a month ago, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, but I was surprised Mustafa got in.
Right.
I mean, I thought they were going to do Roderick.
Right.
But they didn't.
And
I totally thought they were going to put Gargano in there, maybe, possibly.
But his ankle's not done.
Yeah, they're
NXT.
still doing that NXT.
Right.
And why did they do that whole thing? You're going to go away, and why would they make him lose? And he's not going away.
Right.
That's what I don't get with that angle. But
at least with FastLane, you got to see the development of some stories that are going to lead into WrestleMania, which is what we complained about for a while, that there was no direction. But now we're starting to see things get put in place and get ready for the big one.
So did you know that now Shawn Michaels is heavily involved with NXT?
I've seen YouTube videos of him there, helping people train and promo. And
so now they're saying that Shawn Michaels is helping Triple H out a ton. What's up, Scotty? They're helping out a ton with Triple H with the storylines and stuff. And there was one more guy. He's not a wrestler. Man, and he's helping out in NXT. I forgot who it was. It wasn't Jeremy Borash. Man, if I think about it, it'll come up. There was one more guy that was helping tremendously, they said, in NXT with Shawn Michaels and Triple H to begin that.
Well, they had to, because they've got people. The trainers right now are trainers for in-ring stuff. They had to bring people to teach them how to do promo work and stuff like that. Because Regal and whoever else they've got in there, those guys have not been known as being the best mic workers, but in the ring they were,
yeah, and they're saying that Triple H is focusing more of his time on 205 now too,
which you can see a little bit. You can see some of it starting to get better, right?
Yeah, so I actually like 205, and I think he's really trying to start to get that into being a brand, which would be cool, but it'll just be more lighter guys and stuff. But in any case, so Orton beat Rhodes. Three-way Rude. What did I say? Rose. Whatever happened to Adam Rose? That guy disappeared. He's not even doing indies.
Nothing.
So Orton beat Rude, and it's a 3-way. And then obviously last night we saw it's going to be with Mahal. So Orton, Rude, and Mahal are going to be going at it at WrestleMania 34. I did not like this one because I thought it could have been a good match. The Usos and the New Day was a no contest. And I think you called it. And then the Bludgeon Brothers came out and just beat the holy hell out of everybody. And again, another 3-way. They did not announce that one yet, though. I don't think.
It's going to happen. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3-way between the Usos, New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers for WrestleMania. So this is all set in stone, or they're getting FastLane got the angle worked. Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. Charlotte obviously won. And I called it a long time ago, and it's actually on our blogs. If you go to our website at www.windycitysportsnetwork.com, on the blog, I put it I think 4 days before Fastlane. I wrote on there that Asuka was going to come out and challenge Charlotte, and that's what happened. So now that set up Charlotte and Asuka, which is going to be a great match,
right,
for WrestleMania. And then right when that happened, I was like, okay, because we were thinking what's going to happen with Nia,
right?
And then after Raw, then that whole Nia Jax angle happened with
Alexa Bliss,
and that it'll include James in Bliss's corner. So the women's championships figured out now, and it's all put together and stuff. 6-pack challenge. So this is what was my concern. So
my TV was my concern.
Why? Oh, you got upset? Well,
I texted Big Nick. Remember, I said, if Cena wins, I'm breaking my TV. So while we're watching the match, I'm on Best Buy's website looking for a new TV.
I liked at least AJ won. So we're going to see the dream match, which at least they're still young and somewhat in their they're still young and somewhat in their prime. So, but
it's a match that people want to see.
Yeah, and it's great that I'm seeing it now and not like Hogan Rock or whatever the case is. We're seeing it when the two can go, and that's going to be good to see. Even though they're up there in age, it's great to see. And I think AJ is putting out some of the best work.
If they let him work the match the way they want to,
it's going to be a great match. It's going to
be instant classic. If they let him do
what they want.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, which I think they will.
They better.
They're going to be. I've been noticing, and I don't know if it's Triple H talking to Vince, but they're giving more freedom to some of these wrestlers. And they're just letting them do a little bit more of what they want to do. And I guess they're just giving them a chance. But if it flops, I think the old man's pulling the cord right away. And he's like, all right, it's not working.
Yeah, but they've got to be careful with who they let that happen.
Give the freedom to. So anyways, AJ won at least, so that's the good thing. KO and Sammy was they equaled out, or they crossed themselves out because of the whole Shane McMahon pulling them both out. And then right away, I'm like, all right, that's setting it up for a 3-way there too, because we thought Sammy was still upset at KO, and it was going to be yet another 3-way at WrestleMania. And then obviously Shane inserts himself into WrestleMania, just like Triple H is in there. And then we saw something happen on SmackDown Live with reports, which I think that's all a work. That came out. And I guess in the 6-pack challenge, this is my concern and my worry. Why was Cena even in there?
It was part of the angle to make him look like he's so desperate to try to get to WrestleMania that was one of the avenues. It's all part of the deal.
But it makes no sense. He's out there begging the Undertaker. But
that happened afterwards, remember, right? He called him out once, let it go, went to SmackDown to get into the 6-pack challenge. Everybody's like, oh man, they're going to let him get in this way. All of us got pissed off, so they did what they wanted to do, right? We bought in, thinking that if this motherfucker wins, we're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think they didn't need to put him in there.
But hey, it did its job. It piqued interest. right?
Yeah, but I don't know. That was the only thing I think I was concerned there.
If Cena's not in the match, does anybody think that anybody other than AJ Styles wins? By putting Cena in there, the seed got planted that, this might turn into a member. We said it. If this turns into a 3-way, it's going to be a shit show. Everybody's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So they led us down that path.
Yeah, they thought they were going to do that. So I mean, overall, Fastlane, I give it probably a B-.
Yeah, it was good, and the good part is that you got to see stories develop. Remember, we talked about it so much that everything was being done on the fly for no reason. You saw McMahon and Zayn and KO pulled out of the ring, cost him the match, then build up to what happened.
The thing is, though, they're waiting so close to WrestleMania to set some of these up.
Well,
they're literally going to do Undertaker Cena
in a 3-week roll or a 2-week roll now, right?
Yeah, but is he going to show up next week? We know Kane power slammed him at Raw,
right?
And that's all we know.
But that's been our complaint too, is that
and then all of a sudden the week before he's going to show up and say, yes, I'm going to do it. And this is if that's going to be one of your top matches to promote, why wouldn't you have done that a month ago?
But is it really a top match to promote?
It's not, but it's the Undertaker's name.
Everyone here Undertaker, that's the thing, right.
So I don't know. I just feel, I don't know why they're waiting so long for it when they should have been doing this a while ago. So then they could have been promoting it as one of the top matches. But
this should have been something that's 2 months in the making.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but that's still not set. But obviously we know it's going to happen. So that's going to happen. Raw actually was it was okay.
Decent. It was decent.
Ratings for both Raw and SmackDown went up drastically this last week. So I think a lot of it is contributor. It's getting closer to WrestleMania. 2, I think the Ronda Rousey thing.
And Lesnar showing up.
And then Lesnar showing up and beating up Reigns, which was pretty good to see. And then SmackDown Live, I think, was pretty cool too because of the news that happened. So I guess we can dive right into that. So Daniel Bryan, which we already talked about because we thought it was going to be a Shane Daniel if he gets cleared.
Right.
Daniel Bryan went out and announced, or he got cleared to wrestle, which is awesome because we finally might be able to see Daniel Bryan Nakamura, Daniel Bryan AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens and
Daniel
Bryan, like they used to in ROH back in the day.
Right.
Sami Zayn as well.
Generico, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that I guess allowing him now to wrestle is going to be great. The thing I'm worried about is if you want to run with these guys, you're going to have to take some big bumps.
Well, that's what they were saying, that he's going to have to change his style of wrestling. If you watch the end of SmackDown yesterday, kudos to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for making sure that they took care of Daniel Bryan. Every move they did to him was perfectly executed to make sure that that guy did not have a scratch on him.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I guess because he trusts those guys because
of course, wouldn't you?
For so long.
Think about it. You've grown up with those guys. You've trained,
they know him better.
You can throw those 3 guys in the ring with blindfolds on and they will know where everybody is in that ring at any given time without question.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess for Daniel Bryan, for first match to go in there against those 2 guys, that's probably your best 2 guys to put him in with because they've worked so much back in ROH and whatever. So,
and they're good workers.
Yeah, they know each other very well and they trust each other. So I think that's a good combo that they're putting him in there for his return match. But that's the only thing that worries me is that how is his style going to be now that he's coming back? He's not going to be able to do a ton of stuff. He can't take huge bumps. I'm not saying he can't, but it just not a lot of them because then if he triggers that concussion thing again,
it's over.
Yeah, it could be pretty bad for him, and that's for sure.
But you can make him an attraction wrestler. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to wrestle every SmackDown or every Raw or wherever you can put him. You know what I mean?
He's got to become like those. Remember the older wrestlers always tell the younger guys, like, you guys are spot monkeys. You guys got to take your time and slow down. And every time, and that's why Vince, I think, puts him through NXT because these guys that are just the high flyers, he's like, hold on a second, you got to slow down. And some of these older guys keep telling these younger guys, that's why you guys will last only 10 years, 15 years in the business and not 20 to 30. It's because of the move sets that you guys are doing.
Yeah, but remember, those guys were never capable of doing 10% of what was being done. Number 2, the territories back then also always had work for them.
Yeah.
If you leave, you
WWE, were able to go elsewhere.
Right, you left, you go to another territory, you go somewhere else, you could get work. Now, if you're not in the WWE, you get thrown to Impact, you're taking a substantial pay cut, I would assume, unless you're Cody Rhodes or somebody else, but for the most part, you're taking a pay cut.
Oh, well, that was sorry about that. On and off. Yeah, I mean, I just think that I'm glad to see him back.
Everybody is. I don't think there's a person out there that
I'm
not
looking
happy to
forward to what's going to happen in the future now to see what's going to go down. I mean, so it's going to be Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan versus KO and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we can do a prediction here. I'm thinking KO, Sami Zayn win.
No, they can't do it to him.
And then who do you think what do you think his first program is going to be after that? It's going to be between one of the
Sami
two.
Zayn.
That's what I was going to say too. I think it's going to be Zayn, a smaller guy.
Kevin Owens is a little bit too physical to get going with. I think he probably feels more comfortable working with Zayn.
Yeah, so I think it's going to go Zayn and then Daniel Bryan. Do you think they're going to insert him into the title picture pretty quick?
No.
So you think it's going to at least be a year?
I think it's going to be a while before he goes for the belt.
All right. So I think that I agree. I think he's going to go with Zayn after this.
Or Ziggler.
Yeah, I saw that, how he came out backstage in SmackDown.
And if you're not gonna get Zayn, you might as well get Ziggler.
Yeah.
Right.
And Ziggler really has no one to work with right now. So that might it might happen. We'll see.
Maybe that's part of his $1.5 million contract.
Unless he interferes inside with their match. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
No.
But SmackDown overall was okay, pretty good. Nothing really major happened except for the end when they put the beat down on Daniel Bryan,
which was fantastic.
And then the beginning when Daniel Bryan was starting to announce everything. I thought the Usos promo work was okay.
Oh, it was good.
What else happened? Bludgeon Brothers came out. I didn't see the New Day. Were the New Day out there?
No, they're selling being injured now. How good did Shane McMahon sell getting the chair wrapped around his head and bounced off? How awesome was that?
Shane's good, man.
But did you listen to Taz's podcast after that happened?
No, I did not. I haven't heard of him like.
I just happened to listen to it, and they were talking about how some people thought they were saying, "Oh, it might have been too violent," but because they put it on at 9 o'clock, that most of the kids should be in bed, so that's okay to do something that violent. Which I don't understand. I don't understand the reasoning. Okay. So you're going to tell me that normal kids, let's assume we're going East Coast time, they're asleep by the time that happened, right? Finishes at 9 o'clock here. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. That kid can't turn on YouTube the next day and watch it?
No, he can, and they'll see it.
So wrapping a chair around a guy's head and bouncing him off the turnbuckle is somehow considered okay, but God forbid there's a trickle of blood falling off your forehead and all hell breaks loose?
Yeah.
Then you explain to me which is more violent.
No, and there's rumors of... The problem with them getting away from the PG rating is they've got so many sponsors that are only attracted at the fact that they're PG because of the kids. But the moment they go away from that PG, then they lose all those sponsors.
Yeah, but think about it. What's the difference of watching it on YouTube or their demographic? I was thinking about this. Their demographic is what, 10 years old to 60 years old, right?
Yeah, but
from our kids to old fucks like us.
I know, but I think they cater,
right?
I think they cater more to the 8 to 15 age. That's what they're trying to cater.
So then you're going to put a chair in a guy's head and bounce him off a post.
No, you shouldn't.
Right? So that's the part that I don't understand. The same network that shows that PG then turns around and shows the Tupac murder afterwards, right?
Oh yeah, and that's pretty good,
right?
Yeah.
The same that talks about
Mr. Robot.
Forget about Mr. Robot, the assassination, the shooter where they kill a president.
Yeah.
Right? That somehow is supposed to be okay.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with USA.
But you're not going to bleed.
It's not USA, it's sponsors. So they've got when you got people like Hasbro and Snickers and whatever the case is, they're only advertising with the WWE because the WWE goes to them and says, hey, this is the majority of my demographic. I have kids. So Hasbro will advertise more on that and whatever. Now, the moment they start getting violent, then the kid demographic leaves. I think the reason they went PG overall was because Vince McMahon makes more ad money with the PG sponsors versus if that leaves and he does Slim Jim, Miller Lite, or whatever.
Yeah, but there has to be some semblance of reasoning to do both, right? Look,
I don't
if
think
you don't pay,
can,
if you don't
man.
pay for the ticket, does your daughter go to watch wrestling?
No, well, that's the point. But if your daughter nags you enough, you're going to buy the ticket.
All right.
So that's why they do that. Because if your kid's over here nagging like, Daddy, I want this. You're, okay, let's do it, whatever. And they do that to control, so the parents could buy it for their kids. But I mean,
they're going to see the violence when they wake up in the morning. All they got to do is go to YouTube.
No, here's my thing: is I know they're trying to attract kids, but the reality of the fact is 90% of this country doesn't allow their kids to watch wrestling regardless.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I go back and forth with my wife all the time when my daughter's watching it with me, saying she shouldn't be watching this. So, I mean, and I get it, but that's 90% of this country. It's not like us back in the day. I mean, I know she's a girl, but
yeah, but back then, all right,
we were able to watch it, and no one, our parents weren't telling us anything.
Right, but now we're gonna get into a different argument, right?
Oh, yeah,
the parents parents let the kids watch it. The kids should know better. The parents should explain to them or whatever
that it's fake.
You know, I had Abdullah the Butcher against Bruiser Brody on YouTube the other day, and I was watching it, and my daughter came in and watched it, but she gets it, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that she's going to go to school. Right.
Yeah.
She's not going to go to school with a fork hidden in her shorts and whip out the fork and start jabbing people in the head. Right.
And I had to have that conversation with my daughter in the beginning too, because as she was younger, like 6, she was starting to see this stuff and she was like, whoa, she was believing it. So I was starting to explain to her like how things work and how this is sort of an act and they choreograph when they do moves. And I'm not saying to do this. I did a couple moves on her to show her like this is how they do things in the ring and it doesn't hurt. And like if you hit someone, I'm not really hitting you, but then you react like I hit you and so on and so forth. So you do those moves. So now she gets it because I had that talk. But
yeah, but that's called parenting.
There's a lot of parents out there that won't say that.
Well, that's the thing is that, you know, the second the kid does something wrong, it's everybody else's fault except. But anyway, okay, so we'll get off that subject.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't agree with what Taz was saying. We need
Sammy the Bull here for that, so we can talk about some politics here now and stuff. All right, so regardless, SmackDown, Raw, pretty good week for SmackDown and Raw
for both, and the ratings proved it.
Ratings wise, so that way we're getting into WrestleMania, looking pretty solid. Off topic, and I've just wrote stuff down here too that I'm going over, and it's not in any order. CM Punk announced that he's going to be fighting his second UFC match, which is going to be UFC 225. It will be here in Chicago.
Yep.
More than likely, he'll be facing Mike Jackson. I don't know. We'll see if he wins or not. I think that this should be a for sure win for him. We'll see, and we'll go from there.
But selfishly, though, don't you hope he loses?
Yes, and there's rumors now, and then I guess we can talk about this stuff. So we are desperately trying to figure out. So if you guys haven't heard, I know Wild Bill mentioned this about a month ago. There is there's a promotion coming.
Not even a promotion right now. It's an event. They're just basically booking it as an event.
Yeah, so Cody Rhodes got challenged by, I think it was CM Punk, right?
Well, originally it was Cody Rhodes just threw it out as an idea with the Young Bucks that, can you guys fill a 10,000?
And then CM Punk said that, and CM Punk's like, there's no way you can do that.
And here we are.
So it was a challenge. So now Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, through their own money, have funded this event to happen, and it's called All In. I forgot the website that you can go to on it. It's going to be at the Sears Center here in Chicago. So
Hoffman Estates.
So they announced it, and it's going to be here. They've got huge names. I mean, Kenny Omega,
Young Bucks, Marty Scurll.
Yeah, almost all the Bullet Club's going to be there. I think Jay Lethal was announced now. They're trying to get some more Japanese talent, which I heard Okada might be coming. I mean, if Okada comes, this is going to be like hands down one of the best all time, like above ROH. I mean, this is going to be like an ECW type atmosphere.
It's a big event.
Yeah, huge event. So that's happening. It's Labor Day weekend, and I think it's happening that Saturday or the Sunday.
Saturday, and they're going to sell that arena out.
Yeah,
I'm convinced that they're going to pull it off. They're going to get 8, 9, 10,000 people at this place.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do though which is cool, is they're trying to make it like a WrestleMania event. They're going to be doing a podcasters row. And they will begin like Radio Row for the Super Bowl, where all the radio station and podcasters are there. They're going to be at I believe it's going to be at the Hyatt in Schaumburg, and they're going to be allowing podcasters, wrestling podcasters, to go there, and we'll be able to do our live shows from the Hyatt Regency. We'll have booths, and then we'll be able to do the live shows there. And they said free of charge. The wrestlers at the events will be roaming around, and I think it's going to be on Friday. We'll be roaming around, and we would be able to interview independent wrestlers as they're walking around and introduce them into our shows and stuff. So we're trying to figure out the details. We're trying to make it happen so that we're there. That way we'll get a bigger crew, and we'll have some of our colleagues join us. So we'll have 5 or 6 of us here. I'm anticipating if that does happen, we'll probably end up doing like 3 2-hour live shows on YouTube and on Facebook Live. If that does happen, we more than likely will be going on Facebook Live too for the full shows. But that would be pretty cool to be sitting here and doing live shows while Cody Rhodes up there. Dude, that's Cody calling right now to tell us the details. We're going to book it. So he, it would be cool to be doing a live show, and then all of a sudden you turn around and Cody Rhodes is right behind us, and we're introducing him into the show. It would be pretty awesome. We'd be marking out too at the same time.
No doubt about it.
So I'm a Kenny Omega fan more than a Cody, so I'd be marking out for Cody or for Kenny. Actually Okada more so than anything. There might be a language barrier there though.
Can you imagine though if they're able to pull that off and get him here?
Yeah,
that's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty insane. So we'll keep you guys in the loop if that does happen. Apparently for us, if we get everything and we get the podcast booth, we will have actually media access as well too. So we'll be in the front rows, media access to the show as well too. I would actually, what I think we would do is if we do make this, again, this is Labor Day weekend, probably ended up doing shirts. So for the fans that are going to be going to the event, if you guys can email us at windycitysportsnetwork@gmail.com, I would love to give you guys WCSN shirts. That way you guys can wear them at the event while we're all there, so we can be all the way around and stuff. WrestleTalk Radio. But that's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens. The details have not come out yet. The only details that have come out right now so far is
location and date.
Yeah, the date. The location is the Sears Center, and that the podcast row and everything will be at the Hyatt in Schaumburg, and that's it. So I am currently communicating right now with their media site to figure out the details on the podcast booths and stuff. But I mean, you might have guys like Meltzer there.
Oh, those guys are going to be there for sure.
Yeah, all those guys.
All those guys, because this is basically the one chance for some of these people to basically give the middle finger to the WWE and say, look, we can do it.
Yeah. Especially
considering they've said it can't be done in the United States without the WWE machine behind them.
Yeah.
I think these guys are ponying up their own money.
Yeah. That's going to, I mean, they'll get money in return.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So that's going to be pretty interesting, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be a cool thing. So that's all in.
And it'll be nice because you'll get national exposure for a lot of these independent wrestlers that people have never heard about, and they're going to get thrust into the limelight so everybody can see what they can actually do.
How long until we see Cody into go back? Do you think he'd even want to?
The rumors are true and all the money he's making, why would he?
Because that going back to AJ Styles, AJ did the same thing too, where he was like, why would I go there if I'm making more money independent and TNA?
Right, but then he was in TNA. They made him an offer that was not what he was looking for.
Yeah, and he left the one independent because he was making more money.
And it was a perfect opportunity. But I mean, look at Cody. He's wrestling. He's flying across the ocean
thing, though. He's busy,
every other day or whatever, or every other week or whatever. He's back and forth. But if the money's right, his wife is with him, right? She's wrestling.
Yeah.
So
she's his valet.
No, she wrestles too. She wrestled in the Ring of Honor matches. She's wrestled in.
I think that eventually he's young now, so he's able to do that. But there's going to be a point where he's just going to be like, man, I'm getting too old for this.
But then he'll come back.
Yeah,
but if he's loaded up on the money, done whatever he's want. Look at Austin Aries.
Yeah.
Right? He leaves like, fuck this. This is bullshit. I'm not going to sit here and do whatever they tell me in the cruiserweight. He leaves, in 30 days, let's call it 6 months or whatever that he's been gone.
Yeah. And now
TNA champion.
He's got like 4 straps on him.
Made a surprise appearance at Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And he's walking around with 4 belts and he's able to do whatever he wants on. beautiful, good for Austin Aries.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. All they were doing is putting him at the commentator booth when there's two.
Well, remember he had a broken orbital bone, right? First of
Yeah.
all, then they threw him in the cruiserweights, which you know that he
didn't want that.
He wasn't having it. Let's not kid ourselves. But look at a lot of these guys now are able to go out and make money outside of the WWE because of the internet, because of podcasting, because of all this. People are saying, hey, did you see this? Did you see this?
Yeah, but you're just traveling so much more.
Well, that's part of the game. Look at what's his name? Sammy Callahan.
Yeah.
He's all over the place now too.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, yeah, you make money, but you're traveling every single day all the time.
They did it back then.
Versus in WWE, you're traveling. Obviously, it's not that you're not traveling.
It's a different kind of travel.
Yeah, but there's also times where you can relax and just chill out and do whatever. And now, in a way, the way their schedule is, what is it? Thursday, Friday is their days off,
right?
Or is it Wednesday? No,
Wednesday, Thursday off.
And then Friday, Saturday house shows,
right?
And then Sundays they have off unless they have a house show or a pay-per-view.
But if you were an independent wrestler right now and you had option A, okay, look at fucking Rusev.
I was gonna talk about him.
You're gonna tell me right now that Rusev isn't thinking to himself, hold on a second, what's he making? 200 grand? Let's just say
I think a little less.
Plus the shirt, no, because he's making money with the shirts and everything.
Yeah, he's probably doing 200.
You don't think he could make that jumping around?
So his contract is not public, but his contract is rumored to be up February of next year. It's already out there, and they said that he's been openly telling like wrestlers that are close to him that he wants to leave if nothing changes with the storyline. I mean, look, so he's making it wide open, telling people I'm leaving if they don't do anything with me.
Unless they offer him up on a ridiculous amount of money to stay,
like they did to Ziggler,
like they did right. But think about it:
to just job all day,
right?
Hey, we'll give you 1.5 million for 2 years, but
work you these guys because you're such a good worker. You're going to make everybody else look
Rusev's
good.
Young, he shouldn't. He should have had the heavyweight champ.
No,
I think at least once, man.
No,
I think when they were pushing him with John Cena back then, that was actually a pretty good. I thought he had it, but then they started making him lose all the time.
It was like Ryback. Remember, they did the same thing to Ryback.
Yeah,
remember, and then Ryback had enough and said, "No, this isn't happening. I'm out of here."
What's Ryback doing now? He wrestled one independent.
So what?
I think.
If he's smart and loaded up on the money,
he says about it. What's his podcast? The Big Guy.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's called.
But whatever it is, I mean, hey, I give credit to some of those guys who are not happy and just say I'm out.
Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal got renamed, and that got renamed to the Women's Battle Royal. And the reason they renamed it was because apparently the moment they named it Fabulous Moolah is there was allegations out there that saying that she was.
It wasn't an allegation. It was a statement legit. Of fact. Yeah.
She was pimping
female prostitutes. She was taking booking fees. She was making the girls do things that they shouldn't or whatever. And all of a sudden this came, once they named it, a lot of the people said, hold on a second, you guys sure you want to name this after her?
Yeah.
Here's what was going on. Right. So they changed it.
That's changed. That's all gone. WrestleMania 35 returns to MetLife Stadium in 2019. I was hoping they would come to Chicago, but there's really no good. See, that's what we were talking about this earlier, I think. It's cold there too. So like, why can't they come to Soldier Field? Like New York, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium, it's chilly.
Right.
Same weather that it is here. So, I mean, well, it's pretty bad. If you're thinking not right next week, the temperature, last week of March, you're looking in the 40s.
50s, 40s
so
or 50s.
WrestleMania is going to be the week after that, first week of April. It's probably going to be in the 40s again, 50s. It's going to be the same temperature there. It's going to be freezing. So
maybe it's the package that's offered, in total.
Who knows? Maybe it's the hotels too. Well,
it's an event. We got everything that New York does, but
I don't get it. I just wish they would come here. I don't think they could do a WrestleMania.
Probably has to do with
United
the taxes
Center.
That the city would probably charge them.
Yeah. You think they would be able to do it at the United Center? No, not enough people.
Too small. Way too small. Holds what? 18,000 people at capacity?
Soldier Field is how much? 64?
70?
74.
Right, but then remember, plus the field, 70,000 people.
So you'll fit in about 90.
Okay.
Maybe. In Soldier Field.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But they are going to New York. Daniel Bryan wasn't at FastLane because he was at a family
wedding.
And Then the whole thing came out where he was, and I think that was a work. I think they knew.
They've known for a while.
I think they knew like a month ago that he was able to come back. They were just waiting for that angle to work itself out.
But good for them. Look how nice the story was told, right?
So his contract runs out September 23rd too.
He's not going nowhere.
Yeah, he's not. There was rumors before that he was going.
He was going to leave because they wouldn't clear him.
Yeah, and he had doctors, his personal doctors that were clearing him, but WWE doctors weren't clearing him.
Right.
Rumor has it that Carmella is going to cash in her Money in the Bank at WrestleMania against Asuka, and she's going to fail. So that's a waste there. What else is there? We already talked about Rusev. Rusev will leave after his contract or ask for his release. He's upset with his current role. Have you seen the Macaulay Culkin Twitter battles with him?
Yeah, whatever.
That's stupid. Raw SmackDown ratings are up
Can
higher.
you imagine though if they do that at WrestleMania?
They should not. The guy's a wash up.
Right.
Culkin.
You jumped the shot. No, and then Rusev
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. All right. So I guess before we go into the WrestleMania predictions and stuff, what is your take on an Ultimate Deletion? That was my. You want my take on it?
I'm gonna watch it for the third time.
All right, Tony.
And I will tell you this:
is Tony still in there? I don't know. Scotty, did you see Ultimate Deletion or no? I want to see if any of you guys saw Ultimate Deletion and what your opinions are.
I will say, thank God it was only 10 minutes that I had to watch.
So,
and it wasn't what was it in TNA? 45 minutes.
Jeremy Borash is 100% producing and directing all those skits. They are filming them first and then letting Vince McMahon watch them and then putting it through. They said Vince McMahon is marking out really bad.
First they said that he didn't like him,
but now he's marking out bad
because it became, what was it? # Ultimate Deletion or whatever was the #1 trending.
Yeah, in the world. So hold on, Tony. Did you like it or did you not like Ultimate Deletion? And I hope you saw Final Deletion in TNA. So here's my scenarios. I liked it. It was different. It was nice. I think that people need to realize that what Jeremy Borash is trying to do and Matt Hardy is it's so bad that it's good. I mean, that's their goal. They're trying to make it like, dude, this is awful. Like, why are they even putting this on TV? This should not be on TV, but you keep watching it because it's so bad. Like, I remember Final Deletion when I was watching that stuff. I'm looking at this and I'm like, dude, no one watches TNA, and this is god awful. And I kept watching it because it was god awful, and I started laughing about it. So the one thing I did not like is the quality of the video. If you look at the quality of the video and this Ultimate Deletion, it was $1 million production. You can see the clarity, the high deafness. It wasn't good. A video of Ultimate and Final Deletion should have had poor cell phone quality video. And that's what I think they messed up on, that they didn't notice, because there were certain times when they were doing the angles and it was too clear. And you're like, dude, no, they had to have it like fuzzy. And I think the camera quality needed to be a lot worse. But when he pulled out the mower of lawns and the wheels of chair or something, that was great. Like I loved it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Thank God it was only 10 minutes.
I like that they got Senior Benjamin and he threw the world at him. And then
Jeff Hardy showed up.
Yeah, so that was the other part I did not like. So Jeff Hardy's been gone, and they really didn't tell us, like, okay, was that Jeff Hardy or is that Brother Nero? And how did he flip? Because, like, obviously we know they told the story a little bit. I think that they went with the angle too quick. But they told the story a little bit of why Matt Hardy flipped. It's because he kept losing or he couldn't beat him, and then he just went nuts and started doing the delete. But now all of a sudden, like, Jeff Hardy, boom, Brother Nero, you're in there.
And what do you do now with Wyatt getting thrown into the pool?
They said they're repackaging him.
Right.
But I don't know, why would you repackage someone that should be like the Undertaker?
That's my point exactly, is that you can't.
So, Tony, did you see? All right, so Tony says kind of corny and funny, but I liked it because it wasn't overproduced. What did you, Tony, I'm just asking a question. Did you see the original Final Deletion in TNA? That's just so so you know what you're comparing it to and stuff. So I liked it. The Lake of Reincarnation, he fell in. He went back in there to try to grab him. And part of his gimmick, you have to realize, is if people don't watch him on Twitter, you know he has like multiple videos on Twitter. If you don't follow him on Twitter, then it doesn't really work well, because you got to see the other videos on Twitter. He uses Twitter as a feed to fuel the whole Woken character and stuff. But I just don't
understand the end.
What I don't understand is, I understand the ending, but what I don't understand is, why would you delete him?
Right. That's my whole point, is why would you get rid of Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. So like, he's going to repackage him, but someone was saying, I forgot, I think it was Brian Alvarez, that the only thing they're going to do is just change Bray Wyatt's clothing, or this is what would even be better, in my opinion, end up having Bray Wyatt as part of the Woken party. So he ends up like, did you see the George Washington thing?
So you go.
Wait, did you see George Washington?
No.
It was the giraffe.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. So, eating the carrots.
Yeah. So like, if you bring in Bray, but bring him as like Sister Abigail. He's Sister Abigail now or something. So something with that manner, but
again, adding layers of stupidity upon layers of stupidity.
And it's
Bray
funny.
Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt was so perfect as the bad guy. The way he was set up, and what did they do? Lose and lose and lose and lose. Lose to Jeff Hardy, lose to Matt Hardy, win. Lose to Matt Hardy, loses this. Now he gets deleted.
Yeah.
Especially from Vince's point of view, he kills for being able to create something like that.
Characters like him.
That's perfect
I don't think
for
they're
him.
going to kill him off, though. I think they're just going to.
It's too, yeah, but it's wasted now. It's wasted. Look, where he's been relegated to fighting Matt Hardy.
Yeah, but he's probably going to be off TV for a couple months. And he's going through that real bad divorce.
Right.
So they might have done this because he needs like 3, 4, 5 months off.
But they shouldn't divorce. They should. What are they going to make a tag team now if Jeff Hardy can't go?
No.
And let Matt Hardy and
no, they might just change his clothes or something. And
whatever.
Did they do that purposely, like Quentin Tarantino? No, that's just how Jimmy Bosch is. So a little bit of take on how rumor has it Vince McMahon actually was watching the deletion stuff in TNA, even though people say that he never did. So apparently what happened was, the rumor around is that when these guys were in TNA, John Cena was in the locker room one day. Apparently all the guys were watching it when it was happening, and everyone was laughing, and John Cena walked by and he was like, "What are you guys all laughing about and watching?" And they said, "It's this Matt Hardy stuff, the broken character stuff." And they said, "It's pretty outrageous. You guys got to watch this." And Cena never really wanted anything to do with it. Well, I guess one night he stayed late in the arena and he started watching it. And as he's watching this, Vince McMahon walks into whatever room Cena was in, and Vince McMahon and John Cena were watching this, and they said that they were both laughing, and then Cena was just like, "This is so bad that it's good," and then McMahon was like, "This is brilliant," in a way. And that was one of the reasons why he wanted to bring Jimmy Borash aboard, was because of the work he saw him do with deletion, and he wanted him aboard so he can spearhead this whole thing. And from there, here's my question though, since we're going to jump into WrestleMania. What are they going to do with Matt Hardy now for WrestleMania? Now that, see, because I thought they were going to do the ultimate deletion at WrestleMania.
Right, but they couldn't.
Yeah, now, because what are they going to do though now with Matt Hardy? Or is he even going to be part of WrestleMania?
Put him in the Battle Royal.
They're saying that Jeff is cleared. So are they bringing Jeff as Brother Nero now? Are they not?
And surprise go after the bar?
Now, if you keep... well, that's the rumor I heard, that they were going to walk around, and then you know how towards the end they were the tag team champions and they were saying they were the greatest, and they were trying to they fought the Young Bucks and all that stuff. So they said that they were going to start doing that, and apparently Vince McMahon gave him the clearance to challenge the Young Bucks, I think because Triple H wants the Young Bucks in the WWE, so he's going to start having the Hardys talk crap about them to try to get their fueled fire to try to come over. I don't know. Like, my whole thing is, what are they going to end up doing with Matt Hardy in WrestleMania? I don't know. Do you put him in the Battle Royal? Do you not put him in the Battle Royal? I mean,
they have a plan for them to delete Bray Wyatt, because you figure that would have been another match.
Yeah,
right?
Hardy is Jeff Hardy's cleared. Oh, so going into that, that's what I thought they were going to end up doing. So, but they inserted Braun. So who's Braun's partner going to be?
Elias.
I think it's going to be between Elias, Samoa Joe, or
Bobby Lashley.
No, he's not going to be coming back. I'm trying to think who the third one I had. But here's the whole point is I thought they were going to bring in. Yeah, I don't have it on there.
Hold on, I have your notes.
I thought they were going to bring in the AOP.
After. Remember, they always do something big after WrestleMania on Raw, so that'll be nice. And they got to get set up for the redraft.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go. We're going to go into WrestleMania card and predictions.
Big Cass, you said?
No, potentially. I said
potentially Big Cass.
It's either going to be Elias, Big Cass, or Samoa Joe. One of the three.
That guy's had bad luck, man, ever since he's come to WWE. Samoa Joe's been hurt, 3 times now?
Yeah, I just don't think that Elias, because they've been feuding, how are they going to start working together?
The WWE, anything's possible.
I can see Samoa Joe and Strowman. That would be really good. But, I mean, get Big Cass maybe. But if you put Big Cass there, you got to lose. There's no way you're going to win.
Right.
So, I don't know what they're going to end up doing with that. All right, let's go on Facebook. Scotty, you do not have to leave. You can stay in your in the YouTube channel because I know you always end up leaving. So 3, 2, 1. All right. So we are live now on Facebook. For you guys that are just joining in, we were live about 30 minutes ago, almost an hour ago. Wow. Almost an hour ago on our YouTube channel. So we usually go second half city on Facebook Live. So all you guys need to do is, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you guys can watch the whole show on our YouTube channel. And on our YouTube channel, we also have all our old videos and stuff. And then we'll be going live in the second half. A lot of stuff we went over earlier in the beginning, some upcoming events that might be happening. But we are going into WrestleMania card now. So we wanted to start digging in, at least for what's happening. And I think some predictions here say, and some of this stuff may change, I think, when we're going into this card. But obviously the number one match that we know is set in stone right now is the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns.
Right.
And I think that, and I didn't announce anything quite yet, I think that Lesnar is going to sign a contract with the WWE, and it's going to be a similar contract to the way he did it before. He's going to ask to fight at the UFC for one time. Because I know already there's a couple of UFC fighters that are asking to fight him, and he already had multiple meetings with Dana White. So I think what's going to end up happening is he's going to end up leaving now, right after WrestleMania.
He's going to lose to Reigns, right? We all agree on that. We've said that now for 2 months that's going to happen.
Yeah, so he's going to go and he's going to start going into training for UFC, because everybody knows that training to be a WWE superstar and training to be a UFC fighter is completely different. So he's going to start going into training, and I think within 3 months, that'll put you in what, July? What are we in right now? March, April. May, June, July. So in July, he'll be free to come back to the WWE, which I think they'll sign him now before WrestleMania is done. His contract apparently runs out the Raw after WrestleMania. So he only has that one date for the Raw WrestleMania, or the Raw after WrestleMania, and then he's done. So I have a feeling they're going to work something out in the next couple of weeks with him. They may make it public. They may not make it public. Who knows? And then I think he'll be back for his SummerSlam. So,
but as a fan, do you want him?
Yeah, I think he still has some value.
Not as the champion, though.
No, not as a champ.
Right, I agree.
Well, I think what they might end up doing is, if they do that Bobby Lashley angle thing, I think that might be a pretty good
that's
angle.
Okay, because the belt's not involved.
Yeah, exactly. So I think what they might do is bring Bobby Lashley and then have like a Lashley Lesnar at SummerSlam, and then just have them feud. And I mean, you can do some other things as well.
You can do a million things if the belt's not involved. There's a lot of things that you can do, but I think a lot of people started not liking the fact that the Raw champion, right,
you can't have him
was showing up
anymore.
whenever he, was wrestling, once every 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. I don't think people like that.
So who do you think Reigns is going to work with after he wins the title?
Seth Rollins.
It's going to be, I think it's either Seth or Finn.
I think it's Seth Rollins.
So I think and you think he's just going to turn on him?
I think
just
he's going to turn, before? Unless they do something with the draft and bring KO over to Raw and like do some kind of switch, and then let Nakamura go against Rollins, which again is a really good match
SmackDown?
On SmackDown, yeah.
Which Rollins might ask for that because of the fact that Daniel Bryan's back too.
Or do you flip the belts? But you can't. You got a red and a blue belt.
Yeah.
You can't flip the belt. So that's what has to happen.
That wouldn't be bad. And if that's the case, then you bring Finn up, and then it goes Finn Reigns.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Reigns wins 100%. It's not going to happen any other way. Reigns is going to win this.
Or do you have an AJ turn, join Finn?
Well, AJ is going to Raw.
And reform the Bullet Club and have them like just go crazy on everybody.
Well, that's why they said they have those new shirts too, the OGBC. So they have the original Gangster Bullet Club.
Right.
They made those. They said because, and I guess there's a poster out there somewhere where they saw it. AJ is going to be on Raw. Man, I think Seth Rollins was on SmackDown. So that means that Finn or AJ are probably going to end up challenging Reigns then. So we'll see what happens there on that aspect. But so Reigns goes over Lesnar, but
for sure.
That's 100%.
We're being force fed it anyway. There's no question about it.
AJ Nakamura, that's another one that's set in stone. Who do you think?
I think it's Nakamura's turn.
But Vince doesn't like him.
I know, but I don't know how you build it.
I think they give it to Nakamura for the simple fact that AJ's going to Raw.
Right.
And they got to keep the title on SmackDown Live. So they give it to Nakamura. See, man, he keeps calling, man. We might have the deal then. Might be a locked-in. It's 8 o'clock. So I think they give it to Nakamura, and then AJ leaves and goes to Raw. And then once he goes to Raw, who does Nakamura start challenging?
Your boy Rusev.
Oh, you're right, because they started setting that up for FastLane. And that might make him happy, too. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And then who knows, maybe do you insert Daniel Bryan? I know you said it's too soon.
It's too soon for him. It's too soon.
Or do you go KO Nakamura?
But they're gonna work the roster too. You know, you never know. They might take Strowman and bring him to SmackDown for a little bit, shake things up. I mean, we can try to predict all we want, but until we see that draft, but I really think that there's a good possibility that you're going to see a Rollins Roman Reigns feud after WrestleMania.
Yeah, but that's if he stays on Raw.
If he stays on Raw, I think that's natural progression. Remember, they did a couple things to each other, a couple of the pay-per-views, they gave each other the dirty look or whatever. So, don't be surprised to see that happen. All
right. So then you're saying Nakamura over AJ. I agree with that. Then you've got the Rousey Angle versus Steph and Triple H,
which I predicted a long time ago.
Rousey Angle.
Right.
Has to be.
That's no question.
And then you've got Charlotte versus Asuka. They're going to give it to Asuka. Charlotte goes to Raw again, I heard. And then
it'll be nice to have Nia Charlotte. That'll be a nice match.
And then I think Carmella comes out and tries to cash it in.
Fails.
Doesn't win to make Asuka look even stronger as well. Then you've got Miz, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. So if Seth is going to go at it with Reigns, or he goes to SmackDown and then Finn goes up against Reigns, I think Miz is keeping the strap.
I think the fact that they keep making a point to bring up that he's trying to break the record for the longest reigning Intercontinental. What's he after WrestleMania? He's got to go 9 more days after WrestleMania?
Another week and a half or
something. So that I think for them to keep bringing it up, I think he gets to keep it.
Yeah, so Miz
and it'll be nice to have somebody like the Miz have, to
have that record.
Everybody talks about Flair.
New Day had the
tag
record,
belt, right?
Beat Demolition's record,
right,
for the longest hailing tag team champions. Now you'll have Miz, longest hailing Intercontinental champion.
Potentially, you might see Cena as the first 18-time.
It's going to happen.
Or 17-time world champion.
To break Flair's record. I mean, it'll happen.
Although he said he doesn't want to.
I would still do it if I was. I mean, what he's done for Vince McMahon in the WWE, I would do it.
Right.
All right. Then you've got the Bar versus Strowman, but we don't know who his partner is going to be.
That's going to quickly change. That'll be a match that ends up being a 3-way tag match.
With who, though? Do you think the top guys?
The Hardys make their last hurrah?
Maybe, yeah.
Remember, they surprised everybody last year at WrestleMania. Maybe they do it one more time.
Yeah, they might.
And that's their going away present.
Yeah, that's set in stone. We just don't know who Strowman's, so that may change up. Then you got Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa. I think Alexander keeps or wins, and I guess they're redesigning the 205 Live belt.
Right.
So they're taking the purple off. They're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna make it white or black or whatever, but it's gonna be redesigned. They're gonna do it there. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shane and Daniel Bryan. That has not been set yet, but it's gonna happen.
That's the one I'm curious to see how they're going to work it,
how they're going to finish it.
Although I don't know how you don't let Daniel Bryan win at WrestleMania, especially after everything's that happened, right? Shane McMahon's been beat up once.
Unless they have Sammy and KO win, and then they just obliterate Daniel Bryan to set up the feud with Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan.
But would you do that on a WrestleMania?
Maybe if it's like some crazy moves.
Or do you do it the week at the SmackDown after?
Might be.
Have them go crazy, have them jumping because they lost on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. They jump them. It's something. I don't know how you take that away from Daniel Bryan. That's tough.
Works.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Then you got the Women's Battle Royal, which who do you think is going to win that? I think it's Becky Lynch. And the simple fact is because every other top female has a position and they know what they're doing.
You think they bring in one of the NXT girls and ever win it?
No, I think it goes Becky Lynch.
I would be okay with that.
Taker Cena. Now the rumors with Taker is that he's not going to come back as the dead man.
Because of Kid Rock and the badass gimmick?
Yes, and also they're saying that because when he took his hat and his jacket off on the last WrestleMania as a dead man, that was the end of the dead man. And then they're saying that he's going to come back because of Kid Rock, and Kid Rock's going to do a live performance of, I forgot what song
American Badass.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, then he's going to come back as American Badass, do a live thing.
On the motorcycle.
And then he's going to wrestle Cena. I don't know who they're going to have win there.
Right, what do you do?
I think they have Undertaker win.
You have to.
And then I heard he's going to wrestle one of the younger guys as the American Badass on the WrestleMania after that. And then I think that's a swan song. So he leaves as that, the American Badass is done, and he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame that year. So he's the headliner for the Hall of Fame next year.
Man, I'm just afraid to almost watch the Undertaker wrestle right now, though.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's Cena, I think can, because Cena can slow it down. So Cena can take care of
Who wins? Who do you think wins that match?
This one, I think it's going to be Taker. You have to, because if they're going to set it up for Taker next year, I'm more concerned about who is he going to wrestle next year. Like, what young guy are they going to put with him? Do you think Byron Corbin maybe is ready? Because he already did the job to Roman Reigns.
Too physical.
He's already trying to be like, hey, Roman Reigns, you're taking over. It's your yard. And then when he loses as the badass, he's going to have to put over another young
talent. It'd be nice to do like Undertaker Samoa Joe or something.
Yeah, but he's going to have to job.
It's got to be to somebody, somebody
who's
that's going to
be the next, who's going to be the next face of the WWE. So that's why Reigns, he did it to Reigns. But I mean, you don't really have, I don't know. I mean, Strowman, no.
Do you bring Lesnar back for one more match?
It would make no sense.
Sure, it does. The guy that broke your streak to get retribution, a one-off like that.
But you have him win at the end.
Yes,
this last match.
You better.
Yeah, if you do it that way, then it would have to be Lesnar.
You bring Lesnar back, right?
And then the badass beats Lesnar,
and beats him in the ring, and
he rides off on his motorcycle.
I'm out. That's it. I revenged the WrestleMania loss, and I'm out.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, could be. I mean, we'll see what happens there. Then you got Bliss, Nia Jax. They did announce that, right?
Right.
All right, so that's happening.
Nia Jax wins.
Yeah, I'm a little worried, though. They think that it might be too early for Nia.
But, man, Alexa Bliss is really good.
She is. That's why I'm thinking they might keep it on Bliss. But, I mean, and then you bring Charlotte, and then Charlotte takes it from her. So that's going to be interesting. But they announced that. Oh, they did. Kurt Angle announced it.
Right.
Then you've got, I don't know if they announced this one, Usos New Day Bludgeon Brothers.
Which we know is going to happen.
It's going to happen.
The way it's played out, it's going to happen.
But I don't know if they announced it.
No, they did not announce it yet.
Usos retain. They have to. That's their moment. It's not going to go to the New Day.
They've been really pushing the 4 WrestleManias missed in a row, so they let him go.
That's their moment. They have to. Then you got Bayley, Sasha Banks, and you're right on this one. They're pushing Bayley hard for heel. So it's going to be Bayley. Who do you think wins that, though? Banks or Bayley? They have to give it to Bayley.
Bayley's going to turn. Bayley's got to win.
Rude, Orton, Mahal, I think, and that's
Rude.
Did they announce that one yesterday?
Yeah.
Rude.
I think Rude gets the belt back.
Yeah, Rude wins it back and not retains. But
although Jinder Mahal is turning into a really good bad guy.
I love don't hinder the Jinder. I love him.
He's been doing it.
I love his work too, his promo work.
That's what I mean. Overall, he's becoming a good bad guy.
Yeah, the modern day Maharaja.
Remember that guy start from being in the three-man band
3MB.
with what's his face, the redhead guy.
I got kids.
Heath Slater.
Heath Slater. I got kids. And who was the other guy?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Oh yeah,
it was Drew McIntyre.
Who he's supposedly almost ready to come back from tearing his bicep
Already?
in NXT. Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's back in training again for it.
All right. Then you have the Andre Giant Memorial, which it depends. I mean, if Samoa Joe's ready, they might have to give it to him.
Or you let Baron Corbin win it back to back?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I'm just trying to think of big names here.
Or do you put Mark Henry in it and let him win since he's being inducted?
No.
Does the Big Show come back? Is he ready from surgery?
Did they induct him yet?
No,
the Big Show?
No, because he hasn't officially retired.
He's going to have to soon.
Right.
And then I don't know what's going to happen with Woken and Bray. Is Bray gone for good? So I mean, here's my
It's pretty weird though. We're 3 weeks away, and we still have massive question marks for how they're going to set this up.
So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whoa.
That's a lot of matches.
12, 13, 14, 15 matches.
That we think were going to happen, not that we know are going to happen.
Well, I don't even think. I think they.
And we've got what
happen.
We got what 4 hours to fill in.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wrote on.
And
there.
Triple H and Stephanie are going to take at least 35 minutes to get into the ring.
And that's why I'm saying it's gonna. Dude, you have to do a 2-hour pre-show, and you got to do 4 to 5 matches in the pre-show.
No way. It's not going to happen.
In the pre-show, this is what I would do in the pre-show. Okay, here's the other question: who do you put as the main event?
That's another question is, do you make it Lesnar Reigns or do you make it Ronda Rousey? Egomaniacs get in the way and that Ronda Rousey becomes the main event and people are going to be pissed off.
Tradition, it should be Reigns
the
because
belt.
If that's going to be the face of the company, which I think that's what Vince is going to do.
Right.
You can't. Reigns has got to be the face, and when we go off the air, it's
with
got
the
to be
coronation
Reigns with the title in the corner, raising it up, and we go out that way.
Yeah, it should be the coronation of the next champion.
But Cena Undertaker, no. Because they're both old.
They can't.
So if you don't go that way. I don't think you do any of the girls, even though the Charlotte Asuka matches is a good match. No, I don't think you go Rousey, and for the reasoning of I don't think she's going to look that good in the match yet.
Well, the problem is going to be too. Do you want to be the match that goes on after Nakamura and AJ and have to follow that?
Well, I think that the Rousey match will be the match before the main event.
So they're going to go AJ Nakamura and then put the Ronda Rousey match and then Lesnar.
And then Lesnar
maybe.
And Reigns.
Because if you're the match after that and you're sitting in the back and you're like, fuck, now what am I going to do to top this?
I also think that the Seth Finn Miz match is going to be good.
Yeah.
So there's some good matches that are going to happen down in there. Man, we totally forgot to have water. I totally didn't bring water with me. But anyways, I just think that it's going to take there's a lot of matches for WrestleMania. I don't know how they're going to work it all. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And then I guess we can go more in detail in the next coming weeks. Now, what date is WrestleMania? And how far are we from
2 weeks out, aren't we?
Is it 2 weeks?
Yep.
All right. So that means if
April 8th. So we're what, 2 weeks out?
So if we skip the 28th, I think that's perfect. That's why we skipped the week. So if we skip the 28th next Wednesday, no show next Wednesday.
Come back on the 4th right before Mania.
We come back on the 4th right before Mania. I think we're going to end up having to do another show on the 11th, though, because it's going to be right after the Raw.
Right, for sure.
So then we're going to have to do April 4th and April 11th.
Yeah, because you're going to have Mania, the Monday, the Raw after Mania, and the SmackDown. There's going to be a lot going on.
So then we'll have a show on the 4th and the 11th for sure. Then we'll probably skip the 18th and the 25th. We might skip 2, depending on when the next pay-per-view is going to be after. Or look it up really quick, next pay-per-view. Because if that's the case, and it's going to be on the 27th 2nd or the 29th, then we might be back on the 25th after that. But for sure, no show next week. We'll do one on the 4th and the 11th. The 4th will be the pre-show to WrestleMania. The 11th will be the post-show to WrestleMania.
May 6th, Backlash.
Whoa, that's a long way.
A month after
11,
Mania.
8, 12. Yeah, so we might have to miss another 2 weeks.
And we got to start looking for our Money in the Bank tickets for June.
Oh yeah, we got to start digging into that and see what and the NXT.
NXT.
Yeah, I want to see the NXT ones too. So we will again won't be back next week, but we will be back for the 2 weeks after that because it'll be right before. I'm sorry, I'm waving. There's like a fly in here, and I can't get it away from here. And it comes here like it's been in here for like a week or two. We will do the post and the pre. Hollow Point Heroes. Have you heard these guys before? Pretty good. I like them for their intro.
And we went through a whole show without mentioning Tom Chris. How's that possible?
He's not here tonight.
And we started on time.
He will be here on Friday. We were early, no hiccups. Man, Tom Chris. It's like I haven't even talked to him, so I don't know what's going on. But he will be here Friday. He did message me on I think a couple of days ago or something. He's bragging that his one show is like 900. He's almost at 1,000 view mark. Yeah,
but I heard him and his dad had to go to the hospital for a torn tendon in the finger from clicking too much. He was diagnosed with clickitis.
Yeah, we'll see. I know he'll be here for sure. Are you going to be here Friday?
Probably.
So we'll have probably you and Chris for sure. We'll see if we can bring Pistoleros. Jackman is out. He said he can't make it. He's got something going on. I will ask Bull.
We got to get that baseball show together too with Phil.
Oh, hold on a second. That is next week.
Opening day is next week. Week from Thursday. No, week from tomorrow. Isn't it?
It's next week. Spring break.
No, opening day, not spring. Spring break and opening day.
Thursday next week.
I think it's the 29th.
I think it's Thursday or Friday next week. Yep. So we'll look at that. This is Hollow Point Heroes. I actually like them pretty good. They got a new album. It's on iTunes too. But regardless, that's all we have, guys, for wrestling. We will be back on Friday. Friday we got a lot to talk about. I don't think we talked about Bears signings, the draft outlook, and what it looks like. It's starting to get
especially with some of the trades that happened.
Yeah, it's starting to get laid out a little bit here. We'll probably talk a lot about baseball too, seeing that baseball will be next week too. So we'll dig into baseball a little bit as well. And what else do we got going on in the city?
Chicago Fire started.
Don't care.
Blackhawks suck.
Champions League. Liverpool got set up with Man City.
Blackhawks eliminated from the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
Done. They're gone. I know Scotty's a fan of theirs.
The tank is in full effect.
Yes, hopefully it continues. Levine, I think they're thinking about shutting him out.
Shutting him down. I know Nico's got to be upset. He's got him he's in the playoffs in fantasy. Now they might bench him.
I'll be fine with them shutting him down. Keep him healthy.
Yep.
So the Bulls can get a good draft pick. NCAA we'll probably talk about too, because the tournament and some of the stuff that's been going on and with Loyola.
And Loyola will have played by Friday's show.
Yeah, hopefully. If not, then we'll probably be watching it here. We'll put it on the side on one of the other computers and watch it while we're talking. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. If you guys have any input, obviously comment on the video. Email us at WindyCitySportsNetwork@gmail.com. I'm Big Nick Kold. This is
Wild Bill.
And I totally forgot to do the soundboard because we didn't have the iPad with us today. He was going to be introed with CM Punk and Big Show. But we will see you guys Friday because we will be here Friday. Wrestling show will be in 2 weeks. Good night, Chicago.
Good night, everybody.